Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't tell the truth on fucking YouTube because they like to kiss ass with these woke content having assholes now. Fuck it, I'm just gonna tell y'all what went on with the into the shredder shit. The video already got blocked. My video already got blocked as fuck, but I don't care about that fucking video anymore. I'm gonna replace it with something good. Let me read y'all something. The enter the shredder thing going on here. See, let me tell you about this here. It was like the second episode here. They had some sort of plot. I don't even know why. See, the little story they had about this episode here when the turtles. This episode here is called when the turtles find out about the technodrome and they try to find it. So even though something happened, uh, see, I'll tell you about this. I'll bring you on the episode here, latest episode up for you because the assholes at YouTube they not want to fucking want to see that video anymore. When April O'Neil is waking the turtles up and all them turtles are asleep, hear them grunting, muttering and snoring and all that, and Raphael already told April like ease up. They had a rough night, so they had to wake up. Michelangelo had to go eat some breakfast. He wanted to eat some breakfast, but and Leonardo said that they can't eat until they get to practice. You got the next part here. They get to practicing, and then it started with Splinter telling Michelangelo like Mike, don't lose your focus. So they kept practicing. Leonardo trying to yank the nunchucks from Mike. Leo trying to yank the nunchucks from Mike, and Leo just went and flipped. And Leo just flipped Mike right against that wall, and he made him hit the wall. But Mike did not lose his cool in that part. So, for some reason, and then the turtles had to go put some cereals in their pizzas, and all of a sudden, shit. Let me tell you about the turtles. They pour some cereal in their pizzas, and you know, April started asking them, "Do they have any real food?" And Splinter tried to offer April some sushi, but she said she can hold out until they all get out to the street. And they were talking about some ninja organization that already had a technodrome that was out there underground or something. So that one spot that they always show you in the plot, that's the only way to get out of the mess is so April had to go all the way from the sewers all the way to the underground so they could have all five of them they see the technodrome. They all had seen the technodrome and things like that. The technodrome, and shit, things happen. So, so the turtles had to go back to the sewer on that day. This is where Shredder had steal the technodrome, and then he ends up chatting with Krang and all that. He Krang has been begging and begging Shredder to provide him a body. So people on YouTube are pissed about the video that I did. They didn't like the video. They hated the video. They might just advise for me to do something else. Uh, do a video about something else. So so they chatted. So Shredder and Krang, they chatted all inside the Technodrome. So he wanted to find some mutants, some killers, which that he said he would find. As as Shredder leaves, and Krang just says it's all he got. You know what I'm saying? Krang just said it's all he got, so he had to Shredder had to go all the way to some building to go find some guys. So he needed like two volunteers. So he chatted with these two guys, 3 or 4 guys. He chatted like with 3 or 4 guys, but he wanted to like to do something until these two robots they came out from underground, and they had to go zap out the bars. They zap out those bars there, those metal bars right there. They zap out those metal bars, and the warthog just ran out. So the robot had to go lasso that warthog. They lassoed that warthog right there. So they hit the lasers to free the rhino. The rhino just ran loose. The other robot had to go lasso that rhino. For some reasons, they had to go grab the rhino and the warthog. They roped them those two animals and pulled it down underground. Pulled it down to the underground. The man and his dog are afraid. They had to go hide under a bench. They had to hide under a bench, scared. But all on top of April wanted to get on the phone with his boss. With April get on the phone with her boss, Bern Thompson. You know, they're arguing over the phone, and then she hangs up. She hangs up the phone booth. They had a little inch of, they had a little piece of what happened when April had to go drive. the news van all the way down the streets of New York. So on top of it, April had to go drive down the streets of New York in her Channel 6 news van. And they have this going on. This all started right there. The mix where you have April try to chat with Master Splinter and the Turtles. So Splinter and the Turtles had to go all the way from the underground sewers to go find the Technodrome. So they couldn't even find it for themselves now. With Splinter there. So so the turtles had to get out from the underground sewers. They had to go get out from the underground sewers, and they had to go run from these passing cars. These passing fucking cars. They all ran from those passing cars. They had to go run into the back alley. So they had to see a pizza joint. And right next to the pizza joint is the Channel 6 News station building. How would Michelangelo talk about pizza in a time like this? How would they? How would he talk about pizza in a time like this while he was ready to go find where April is going to work? Well, I can't even play the video for y'all because the assholes of YouTube are being people at YouTube are being like fucking pricks. So I gotta make sure to keep this without the video, without the me playing the video. They got fed up with the sound, so there's a mix within. April is in the Channel 6 office. Burn Thompson tells her Burn Thompson, her boss, tells her about how a robot would steal a warthog and a rhino from the zoo. April wanted to get some sort of story, so she lost her cool and leaves the office. She couldn't even get a story, and then she ends up getting her ass chewed out, and she almost got fired for something. So by the time she's leaving, by the time she's leaving the building, here comes the turtles in disguises that they were wearing. They were wearing their disguises. One of them had a boombox. Get ready to listen to some tunes and stuff. And then April had been telling them about how a robot would steal a warthog and a rhino from the zoo. Then all the turtles are laughing about it. They're laughing about it. You know what I mean? While they're outside of the Channel 6 building, laughing. So They were laughing, bro, like crazy. And then Mike was like, "Let's boogaloo," and Raphael was like, "A warthog and a rhino a rhino and a warthog trying to lead us to Shredder." And they're laughing, you know. And then Michelangelo told April like, "Hey, let's boogaloo." So they ran out from in front of the building. They took off the disguises and everything, and then they had to go back underground. So they had to go underground uh without April, even though they already had they already had one scene when the turtles had to go start scarfing through, you know, through the sewers trying to find the technodrome. And it goes with Master Splinter. You know, he found the technodrome, and the robot is trying to lasso his walking stick. He was trying to run. See, this is where the part when they have when during the scene when they were all heading to the technodrome, and Splinter told them, "We rats can burrow through anything." And Untaken. And he started. I mean, one of the turtles kept mentioning the reference about a weasel, about mentioning the things about between a weasel and a rat, but it's nothing. But it's nothing. Right before Splinter had to head to the outside the Technodrome, his stick got lassoed by a robot, and then the robot started lassoing him and then tying him up and grabbed him. This mixed with April O'Neil was out there on the street while the turtles were about to head underground to find the Technodrome right after Splinter got nabbed by those robots. Those about those robots. They don't like the scenery, like a cartoon being shown. So the hating the YouTubers doing. I hope they get their shit together. So by the time the turtles had to go falling underground, while April had to stay and get on the phone with Burn, things like that. That's all done. So the turtles they go underground. They're right outside the Technodrome, and they saw Splinter's walking stick. And Shredder says something about letting them in the Technodrome, and all of a sudden, you know, they're trying to get in, and him watching them, as they heading right in into the technodrome. And then as soon as they head right into the technodrome, they ran into these machines. They headed right into these machines, man. They headed right into these machines, man. So they're trapped by these machines. They're like mechanical can openers. That one line they say about these can openers, like, okay, they're trapped. So they had to go fight those can openers, and they on attack for some reason. So they had to go fight these mechanical machines that did not even do anything to them. So they fought these machines. They had to go fight those machines for some fucking reason. They rather fight those machines. They fight all those machines. One, two, like almost about 10 of those machines. They fought those machines like crazy. They end up slicing and dicing and fighting those machines and beating them down quick. And these two robots are going for, trying to fight those turtles. So they had to expose those robots, those two robots that trying to grab Splinter. They sent them down, down to the pit of death or something almost. Sent them down below, and they just did something. They fought they fought those machines, beat them down. Raphael started slicing them with those little things there. They beat them down real quick, collapsing them, beating them down, knocking them senseless. Hard as they could beat them. So they beat them down silly. And then they had to do it somehow to get through. They had to do that to go get through Shredder. So they go into some moving wall, and then that wall is almost about to crush those four turtles. So one of the turtles had to bust the little machine thing open, and they had to go chicken wing, had a chicken wing and rewire that moving wall and keep them have that habit to open to get it open and get it pushed all the way back. And then you go to another wall there. We had this moving like some spiky like rolling like cheese grater like roller thing, getting ready to smush them. Donatello got that little explosive thing. So they taped it onto a wall. Raphael, one of them had to go hit that star to bust that wall open, and then they all ran out. They ran out of the wall, and then Boom, they got away clean. They go right in. They go right into the easier part of the technodrome, and they look up. They see Splinter tied and hoisted up onto the rope. Shredder wanted to say something to them. Shredder wanted to say something to them, like wanting them to join him in the Foot Clan. And he comes out there. Shredder comes out with the Foot Clan, the whole foot soldiers. He says the same foot soldiers that they have battled the other night. And Shredder told the Turtles that Splinter kind of known him as Oroku Saki, but they call him the Shredder. And Raphael started talking about a kitchen utensil. And Shredder had talked some sense into them, wanting them to join him, but why would they want to do that? You know what I mean? They will never want to join Shredder and his soldiers. That's what happened. What Shredder did. It was mutagen that kind of nearly destroyed Splinter. But the whole story they have with Hamato Yoshi, if it weren't for Shredder, Hamato Yoshi would have never left Japan for some reason. Let's get to the story here. See, that's how they found Splinter, who ends up getting kidnapped by the Shredder when the Turtles find the Technodrome, and that's where the Shredder tells the Turtles who is responsible for covering them in the ooze that mutated them. If it weren't for Shredder, Splinter would never left for Japan. Even you have one where Splinter finds, who had the Hamato Yoshi. He goes in and he finds the mutagen. The ooze that kind of mutated them. And he said that they all owe it all to him. See, the little part here, this is when Shredder is telling the Turtles about who is responsible for covering them in the ooze that mutated them. So he said that they owe it all to him. And let me explain to y'all about it. But damn, Raphael had came up with this go suck because he mentioned this whole go suck a lemon phrase that means anything to him for some reason. That aspect. So Shredder brings out his own mutants, like Bebop, who was like half human, half warthog. Oh, I forgot. It was Bebop. That was what I know. It's Bebop. It was half Bebop is like half human, half warthog. That's Bebop. And you have Rocksteady. You have Rocksteady, who was like half human and half rhino. They come out with these laser guns. They come out with these laser guns and start shooting at them. They ain't had them. They ain't had them out with them. So they would have to ram those turtles. So four of those turtles had to go run up there on that hoisted rope where Splinter is tied up at, and Bebop and Rock Steady, they ran into each other, and Shredder calls them idiots. So the turtles had to go start beating up all these rock soldiers that they said that they had battled the other night. They'll beat up one foot soldier, beat up 2 foot soldiers, beat up 3 foot soldiers, and beat up 4 foot soldiers. They beat them all up. As soon as they're finished with the foot soldiers and these 2 mutants that they had to battle and fight, Leonardo had to get his sword to cut Master Splinter down from the hoisted rope. Raphael said that's what I tell you what Raphael has said. He said it to not Shredder. He said this to Splinter. He's like, "Come on, Splinter, we're checking out of this dump." And they all ran with Splinter. And Shredder told the 2 mutants, Rock Steady and Bebop, to go after the turtles. And they got cut to the scene when they all had to come out from underground. They had to come out from underground. To take Splinter and bring him to the bus stop. The 2 turtles are holding on to these 2 manhole covers, even though they had to go shield themselves from the laser fire. Yeah, plus, as soon as they brought Splinter to the bus stop, here comes Rock Steady. Here comes Rock Steady and Bebop. They blasting themselves out from underground with these laser guns that they have. So they started like you know they started shooting at the turtles. The turtles had to go duck from had to go duck and shield themselves from the laser fire with these manhole cover sewers. So they threw the manhole covers at Bebop and Rock Steady, and then they drop kicked them. Then drop kicked them. One trying to use the sword to cut the laser gun in half. Well, one trying to drop kick the other. One trying to drop kick uh, one mutant, and the other had to muffle the laser gun that that blow it up and blow the smithereens on the other mutant. Just kaboom, you know what I'm saying? Just went kaboom, and and Michelangelo told, I think he told Donatello while they're fighting these mutants. He said that these mutants belong in the zoo, not in the streets. And Donatello found out that Michelangelo had gave him some other idea. So all four of them had to go. All four of them had to go run to the zoo. They run to the zoo where the elephants are trumpeting, and they're heading to the cage to tease them. they get ready to tease Rock Steady and Bebop. They're teasing them and set a trap for those two. And this is what they do to them. They're going to, they're going to, trap Bebop. They're going to trap Bebop and Rock Steady into the zoo cage. So they close the door, they lock the door. They operated the cage bars right there, trapped them in, and here comes April O'Neil. Here comes April O'Neil in her news band, and she just missed it all. She just missed everything. But then the turtles like Michelangelo's like dumb, dumb, dumb. They are dumb. This type of they are dumb. That's why you trapped them. That's how you trapped them. And then April had to go pull out the news camera to go film them as they're locked in a cage in a zoo, and then they're Rocksteady. I'll tell you about this. Rocksteady said, "You little bimbo, I'm gonna make you eat that camera." you know, the warthog human um, Bebop, he's just snoring like this. The warthog human, and then you have the human rhino. They just like snoring shit. Yeah. See, then Leonardo or Donatello started to tell April, as Leo or Don would tell April that they're about to go take Splinter home. So April's not gonna let them out of her sight until she gets some sort of story, you know, just to make Burn Thompson proud. So and they leave, then they leave, and here comes these two robots coming out from underground. Not these two robots. It's this one robot. It's this one robot. It's one robot that came out from underground right after April O'Neil had left with the turtles and Splitter. Then this robot it came out to go pick up Bebop and Rocksteady. Bebop and Rocksteady. I mean the damn robot just came out from the fucking ground, from the ground and shit. They fucking come the robot just fucking come out there to go pick up They picking up Rocksteady and Bebop from the zoo. So the robot had to go use the lasers to go melt the bars, and it lets them out of the cage. And Bebop was like, "What is taking you so long?" And the robot tells Bebop and Rocksteady that Shredder has a talk with you, and that robot is not gonna put them back in the cage. So the robot he just roped those two and just grabbed them from and grab them and take them underground back to the Technodrome. And it's the end it goes. Rolling credits and that's it. So This little story is a little better than well, it's just the episode that I'm trying to watch, even though the assholes of YouTube trying to block the shit. I ain't get no story from this shit. Fuck, I ain't get no motherfucking story from this shit. Alright then. Alright then. Alright then. I'm about to go make sure I have to finish this little story up. It's a little paperwork I had to read for y'all anyway. At least the show has already ended, but I'll watch this episode again after I'm done watching all the script. Let me get up out of here because the video is already blocked for you anyway. So I gotta read what I had to read to the viewers. It's what I had to do. It's without this episode that's I had to watch on Tubi. So I'm glad to end this stream and then I'm gonna end this stream and not a word, and I'm not gonna say a word to anybody about why I do the stream. And nobody else get to know anything or hear about it again. But I'm gonna end this video until this stream had processed. Okay, I'm glad to end this stream so it won't be no contradiction.